Good morning. Media Center of Ukraine is welcoming you. My name is Elena Frolova, and we begin our day with, I hope, with a very interesting discussion. Ukraine is at the state of war for 13 years, and the Russian Federation conducted information war. Started information war against Ukraine even before that. And they're trying to influence people who are susceptible to informational influence, and all the Ukrainians feel it. And there is almost every day information about recruiting of Ukrainian citizens against Ukraine and other things that our enemies are using against us. The common practice in the world is the best way to counter these attacks is to create a resilience among the population, and today's discussion will be dedicated to this topic. How can we raise the resilience of the local authorities against information threats? I know that there is a educational project has started in Ukraine. We will talk about that. We will be talking about how to raise the resilience of the citizens, how to involve them to the increase of resilience. Today with us, Zhanna, Patsiora, Director of the Center for Strategic Communications and Regional Studies, Andrii, Ostapenko, Head of the International Scientific Cooperation Division, Directorate for Science Development, Ministry of Education and Science of Ukraine, Larysa Kompantseva, Professor at the National Academy of the Security Service of Ukraine, and Vineta, Kleine, Head of the Communications, NATO representation to Ukraine. Andrii, Ostapenko, Head of the International Scientific Cooperation Division. Andrii Kovalenko, Head of the Center for Countering Disinformation, National Security and Defense of Council of Ukraine. And Yuliia Yanchuk, Deputy Director of the Department of Strategic Communications and Promotion of Ukrainian Culture. So first, Ms. Zhanna, please tell us about the project, how the idea of this project appeared, how local citizens can be involved in resisting the informational threat. Hello, dear colleagues. I would like to separate my speech into parts and talk about the program that we started to realize in our communities with the support of the NATO representation in Ukraine. I'm pretty sure that today, informational security takes one of the key parts in the life of our countries, communities as well. Last year, a center was created. A center that is basing on the Kiev International Relations Institute. The work of this center is involving the young scientists and different NGOs. We are trying to propose practical decisions and the tools that we can use at the local level. Our three biggest partners. This is Association MIS. This is All Ukraine Community Joint Organization. We're working with the communities for a long time already. However, this is a kind of a new project for us, and we have communications with our citizen communities. I would like to tell a little about how the methods of resisting to information course is proposed. It consists of 4 modules. It's aimed at managers of informational security, in different organizations. They using this training course, they will be able to build communication and actively resist to informational threats. The involvement of the Ministry of Ukraine shows that the government of Ukraine is ready to support our initiatives in this regard. Also, this training course will make sure that the students will receive practical experience. It allows us to it allows us to involve international support, and the enemy is fighting not only at the battlefield, it also fights in the minds of the people, and we are putting our unity against their threats, and this program means new knowledge. It will mean also for communities that they will be able to create their own plans and development plans. As of today, we don't have plans like this. What I have seen when I was doing the monitoring on the internet, very little percentage of the communities created any kind of policy. As for the international partners, the cooperation with them shows that the Ukraine is capable of creating joint projects. I would like to personally thank Ms. Vineta for this partnership, and also would like to thank all the Ukrainian partners, local authorities, and special thanks to professors that are taking part in the program. Their professionalism is the key for the success of this project, and we're also working with the National Security Services of Ukraine Institute, and we're thanking them for readiness to share their knowledge. The academic society community of Ukraine is also having our gratitude, and the academic portion of our society is helping us to develop methods and plans as for informational threats against Ukraine. We are seeing part in this program as a first step to the resilience of Ukraine. We know that this path is long, but we are offering to do this journey together with governmental bodies and local authorities and local communities. Local level has to be a key focus because this way we are building a strong Ukraine through concrete steps, partnerships, and I wish everyone Ms. Vineta, there was NATO mentioned a few times today here, and NATO is also seen as a part of this image of a conflict between the Russian Federation and Ukraine and the European countries. Why did NATO decide to pay attention to the project with local authorities?
What NATO Secretary General said just recently in Kyiv when he visited and when he took part at an event where participated Ukrainian veterans, and he said that courage will forever have a name, Ukraine. So, and we truly admire Ukrainian people, and local communities' courage and resilience. And why I mention the name resilience, because NATO has also established seven baseline requirements for resilience, and these requirements range from protection of critical infrastructure, from abilities that government continues to function, and also from secure communications and food and water and communication supplies. So, and resilience of communities is one of the aspects, and strategic communications is part of this resilience ecosystem. It means that if society can withstand also information attacks and hybrid attacks, part of which is also information attacks, it means that society is resilient. And it boils down to local communities, how local communities, on the ground can tackle, can address information attacks. And we know that one of the ways of the way how Russia is attacking Ukraine, and not only Ukraine, also allies, is disinformation and information manipulations. And that's why for us, for NATO allies, its strategic communications is a defensive line and defensive shield and proactive compass. And it means that a shield against disinformation and hybrid threats, and a compass that guides societies with trusted, transparent, and fact-based narratives. And also narratives which are rooted in democratic values and values which represent NATO members and Ukraine. So, and when Zhanna approached us with this proposal to run like a series of lectures for and workshops for local communities, so yeah, I was truly glad to support this project, because that also gave us a way or a venue to connect with local communities and with those who work with information across the country. And that's why we are supporting, and I'm also truly glad that we have a strong pool of experts and subject matter experts of Ukraine's communicators and comms experts who will be leading this course, because we all actually will learn from Ukraine. So, and working together so we can be stronger. Thanks.
Дякую. Пане Іване, ви представляєте Департамент медіаграмотності Центру протидії дезінформації РНБО України. Да? Ви відслідковуєте в тому числі тренди, які
So you see how exactly the tactics of Russia is changing during the war with Ukraine, and what is going on right now in this informational space in terms of these educational projects that allow us to transfer knowledge from experts to experts and accumulate the knowledge. Thank you for this invitation. Indeed, Ukraine right now has the biggest experience in terms of war, including the informational war. The local communities are the first barrier that the Russians are trying to test their manipulative methods and so basically they're using them as a training as a training for their new informational tactics, and we see that one of the tactics that they are using is the tactic of in reinforcing sensitive topics. they are. We are seeing that they are trying to recolor the events in their own for their own benefit, and we do see that these kinds of tactics are quite successful. Thank you, Mr. Andrii. Tell us, please, if we're talking about media literacy, so such practices are usually put into a general education. You, as an educational portion of government representative, how these local initiatives are important. Thank you. I can't really tell about the whole education. I'm specifically involved in the science and the security of the science. This is my profile, professional education, and after 2014, there was a president's resolution that the direction of development of Ukraine is connected with the Euro-Atlantic vector, and the special courses were opened in the universities were opened. They were talking. These courses talked about or taught about European integration procedures and adjacent topics. And such centers were created in many universities, and they're actually active. And that's where our youth can get knowledge about different topics concerning regarding European integration. Regarding this specific project, the ministry, starting the 1990s, we had a beautiful cooperation in the scientific domain with NATO, and we are working under within the framework of the NATO program of joint scientific development, and we are constantly. We had 17 meetings in within the program Ukraine NATO, and the working group for science and environment within the frame of the Commission Ukraine and NATO during these periods. Well, of course, during these years, the directions of scientific study did changed, and previously the main directions were ecological questions, maybe influence of military contamination against environments, and such fundamental questions. Starting 2014, our educational programs has changed, and cooperation programs changed. It was mostly focused on cyber security, also chemical agents, threats against people, and this is a huge experience, to be fair with you, because this is where NATO has a very strong point. They are taking 5 or so countries, and these training programs produce great results. Starting 2014, Ukraine is now the main beneficiary of the NATO program, Science for Peace, and this is the third year in a row that it has been implemented with the cooperation with Ukrainian representatives, and this is a great experience for Ukrainian scientists as well. We are already seeing Ukrainian scientific domain overlap with the European and the world Euro-Atlantic countries' scientific domain, mainly in defense sector right now, but there is other directions of study, and the ministry has decided to support Ukrainian scientists in depending on their requirements, and this some of the demands that they have for their work, we were able to cover them. 3 recent years we have been providing stable support to our practical scientific scientists, and this is the program of joint finance from the ministry and from the NATO, and this is in general about our cooperation with NATO. And I would like to say a few words about the methods that the Russian Federation uses against Ukraine. And yes, of course, because of those, the priorities are changing, and the direction of resistance, the ways, the means of resistance, they are developing. In 2014-15, we had a training course in the headquarters of NATO, and there was a question about what is in general propaganda and how to resist to it, because it was the time when we started to face an obvious Russian propaganda. And that's where we were told propaganda is not our method. It's not our method. We don't do this. And life is showing that propaganda is a very threatening thing, and we cannot use propaganda as an answer, of course, but we can work with the people and explain to them that one of the main tactics that they are using is a mix of the truth and lies. You know, so. We need not to just assign whether a piece of information is true or not. We need to explain to people that here this portion is truth, here this portion is lies. And I would say, yes, we do face this problem, and this is a subject of our work right now, the resistance against the informational influence. We have a quite wide program of cooperation. It's around 10 countries that we are working in the scientific domain with, and right now some of the projects are being drafted, like, for example, Ukrainian, Lithuanian. New scientific priorities are being defined. They are almost all of them are connected to the defense sector, of course. But there is also some of the questions of after post-war restoration. Also, and some of the topics are dedicated specifically to the informational resistance. And I was kind of worried when the project propositions were submitted. If we indeed have a scientific potential to take care of these sorts of questions, and it turned out to be okay. We do have a capacity like that, and in this regard, we see the scientific development of these very important questions. Thank you. It's very good that the people gathered here who represent the different organizations, governmental, non-governmental, and this it shows us that this question that we're talking about is cross-sectoral. There was a Ministry of Strategic Communications created, a whole ministry that is working on the development of this domain. Ms. Yuliia, please tell us what are the priorities in terms of educational projects. What is your focus? How do you support these initiatives? Thank you for the question. Thank you for the invitation. This is a very important project presentation. I would like to say that one of the main tasks of our Ministry of Culture and Strategic Communication is development of the system of strategic communication. And this is defined in our informational security policy. And it is very important during this period of military state, a war state in our country. And the increase of media literacy of our population is very important to fight against the informational threats from Russian Federation. Operative informational provision of information to the population of Ukraine with truthful information. This is also a flexibility and the enhancement of the tools of resistance against the challenges of this modern time. It is also very important for development of strategic communication is the cooperation between regional military administrations and communities and governments, governmental bodies, and the ministry is always communicating with the military community representatives and provides the reports about the level of threats that we have as of right now, and the Center of Strategic Communications and Informational Security. There is a School of Strategic Communications within this center, and they're providing trainings for for government workers, for administrations of local authorities and of different levels. They're training, they're teaching the use of artificial intelligence, the resistance against the informational threats from the enemy. I would like to say that during the past 2 years, more than 200 training took place. More than 1,000 workers from government took part in it. We have also prepared and developed informational campaigns for the governmental bodies. So we're working very closely within this project with other organizations, and thank you very much. Miss Larysa, can you please join us? I will remind that Ms. Larysa is the professor from the National Security Service of Ukraine Academy. It is understandable that the importance of the security domain is very high right now, and the result of the SBSSU that are connected to the resistance against the informational threats. How exactly is Special Service of Ukraine is involved in the projects like this one, and what are practical steps. Thank you. I will be talking about the Academy of the National Security of Ukraine, and because I work there, we have a center of strategic communication created in this academy, and it is taking care from the day one of the war with the informational threats, and we have a few parts of these systems. We have the representatives of NATO. We have representatives of other security organizations. This book here was published, and it is dedicated specifically to these questions. And so the solution that we are seeing as viable is creation of such, so to speak, hubs around Ukraine that are taking care of informing people about informational threats. During these events, it is also possible to unite and develop some joint strategies of resistance. And we also have a few educational projects. The strategic SESCOM is introduced in almost all training courses in our academy, and these courses are aimed at both military, law enforcement personnel, and governmental workers. On the 24th of February, this book will be published. We thought it would be published already. However, it was published a little bit later, but we don't regret that we started this endeavor. In terms of local authorities, every element of the system is providing stability of the system. There is such a saying. And a year ago, we presented a few topics in the Kharkiv region community. And I thought I will check how the Kharkiv community is communicating with each other. And I thought that there were rocket attacks at the time. And I was thinking that there would be a lot of negative comments. However, I have faced the fact that positive narratives are formed, which are focusing on resistance, on help, on cooperation, and it was nice. And after that, I saw how the community decided to react against the threats from the enemy. I have seen how the groups were created to resist on a physical level against enemy reconnaissance groups. Our communities are amazing, and I will say that we are ready to work with them anytime, 24/7, any time of the year. Ms. Zhanna, can you please return to us? I would like to ask you about the course itself. What is it consisted of? What is it? How exactly is it going to reinforce our resilience? How can we get involved in it? This course has this component of openness, and there is a component of closeness. I won't be speaking maybe about the details for this course, but I will say that we are talking a lot about the necessity to create something that would be helping us to resist the informational threats, and there is an idea to create this position of informational manager, who would be responsible just for that formation of policy, informational policy. we would like to also see what is the condition of informational resilience in the communities. We would like to see if, of course, there will be professors there from my institute, from the Institute of International Relationships. They will be talking about the cooperation on the international level in terms of informational attacks, resistance, and counter action, and we will be able to see if maybe there is already some existing experience exists, and maybe some of our partners can provide us with some materials that's been already developed in this regard. The government and in terms of local authority, local communities, I would like to say that what we had previously are mostly governmental workers. Specifically the local communities are the ones that are the most important for resistance against the informational threats. So without local media, it is understandable that without our own means of information dissemination, it will be hard to work in this area. And I'm sure that our people that need to connect, they will connect. They will be working in our libraries and develop. How do you get to the course? We are going to do a selection on the community level. So this will be this endeavor, of course, as I said, has a secrecy component to it. So it will be a very thorough selection process, and our developments will be used only for the good of our people, and it will be very thorough. The NATO is getting involved in terms of development of materials and stuff. But will there be any kind of trainers, maybe, who are going to maybe initially support us on this way?
I will also give a lecture, and it's mostly about explaining, what NATO is for. So also how NATO operates, what I already shortly explained, strategic communications, how NATO understands that, so, and also our principles, so, and then our guiding lines, and what also how we address information attacks and information threats. So just a little bit that we share with our practice, so because we dedicate a lot of attention and to information threats and hostile information attacks and disinformation campaigns, because that is what we face on a daily basis. So, and we also in NATO, in HQ in Brussels, we have a very strong team, and we monitor. We need to understand very well what is information environment. That's why we do information environment assessment. So, and based on that, we decide, what should be our reaction. So, and when it comes to strategic communication, it's very important that we are not, reactive, that we are proactive. So that we are the ones, who first our story first. So who gives you information, because when we react, then we are on a losing side. So this is what we will explain from our side. So, and that we can compare, our practice, so, and the way we address information, threats. So I think that it will be also interesting for local communities, just a bit, to shed a light, on how we work.
Напевно, останнє питання.
Probably the last question. What is the number of participants and how long the project is going to keep working? You know, it's an interesting situation there. We have 1,061 communities without the occupied territories. And we have a lot of projects apart from this project, and it's kind of an amazing situation in Ukraine. Only 400 communities are taking part, and we have lost basically 600 communities, but we will send invitations to all communities, and we will see what the situation. But within. In my estimation, there will be around 300 active communities, and big attention will be paid to the gender component, and a lot of attention will be paid to inclusive command, and also providing basic skills, and maybe for all participants. What are your expectations for this project? What to expect? What we will see as a result? If nobody mind, in the center of resistance for the against the informational threats, I hope there will be people that can operatively react to informational threats. This will be a work in both sides. It will be an opportunity for us to resist, actually, to start resisting to the informational threats, and also to share this information with our partners. This is important. Yes, I also agree. I would like to also say that to create effective system of strategic communications within community, it will be necessary, crucial to develop the literacy, the media literacy of population, and this will reinforce our capabilities of resistance against the informational threats for sure. Mr. Andrii. The training of specialists in this domain, in the educational process of Ukraine, and in the scientific community, and the creation of new programs, training programs for students, and the possibility to learn something new in this matter about propaganda and how to resist to it is very important, of course. It's obvious, and the scientific developments are also quite interesting. This is a field of this is a scientific field. Is very attractive. It's about the behavioral patterns of people, and I will open a little bit the curtain a little bit from the point of view of the scientific security science. So we are working on the informational vaccine, and so to speak, the virus that is spread right now all around the world and is threatening us. We are working on the informational vaccine against it. Very interesting. Any questions? Gladko Ярослав, суспільне мовлення. It is very nice idea. It's formulated a little bit. I have first question. I'm maybe a little bit late. What are we talking about when we are talking about manipulative tactics, manipulative procedure? Maybe a little explanation. And second question, territorial communities, we have, so not the local communities, but territorial communities. In territorial communities, who is the target auditory? Who is the target consumer of the project, of the training? You mentioned 1,000 community only 400 of them are active, and there will be even less. So we're trying to understand what the feedback, what the results will be in this regard. This topic has to be learned in the system. If we have a lecture, here, that we will start with saying that there is positive communications and there is destructive communication that is used by the Russian Federation. So in this is the way it should be done, is to first analyze how the enemy is influencing different territorial communities, what are the differences, how we resist, we learn the propaganda, we devise the counteraction. I haven't understood the question about territorial communities question, because there is local communities that are specifically joined on a territorial basis, and this is because we want to have a person that will be responsible for communication with territorial communities, and we are already working with them. That's why we want to reinforce this cohesion and to form it in other communities as well. Any more questions on the floor? No questions. Thank you to all the participants. I wish you that the project brings results. We are doing something as a counteraction, and the Russians are inventing new methods. So this is very important to make the whole population of Ukraine resistant and resilient against such threats. I wish you all inspiration, and I think we will meet when you have first results. Thank you very much.